Good morning. I want you to join me today as we make potato soup. It's one of the easiest recipes that I make. Now, you've watched me cut up potatoes. I got a Vidalia onion, about a medium size, not a big one, but just about a medium. I have got 2 cups of chicken broth right here. What I do, I make my potatoes just enough. I'm going to make 2 batches today. So what I do is I put enough potatoes to cover the bottom of my little Dutch oven that I'm going to be cooking them in. Just cover the bottom with potatoes. I used the potato brand I got was something from my rural grocer. They are not organic. They are Simply Perfect russet potatoes. I always get russet potatoes for potato soup. These were grown in Colorado. Well, I can't hardly believe that, but anyway. So I'm making 2 batches, so I've kind of divided these potatoes up. This will be my second batch that I'll cook here in a minute. I'm going to take about half of these onions for this batch of potatoes. So we'll get these onions. And I want to get all of this ingredients that I'm putting in now. I want to get this fork tender. Now, I'm going to put my chicken broth in, 2 cups of chicken broth. And we're going to put this on the stove. If you see any big pieces of potato that didn't get a chop, that didn't get chopped all the way through, just take them out at this time and kind of chop them up just a little better. Put this on your stove. Remember this first eye right here. This first eye is a boil eye. And you're going to have to go back and turn it around again because you don't want this really to boil hard. Just give it a good medium, about a medium cooking. Doesn't take maybe 10 to 12 minutes to get these potatoes fork tender. And I'll bring you back and I'm going to start working on putting my second batch together here. And I'll bring you back as soon as I get them fork tender and I'll show you what all I put in them. Guys, while the potatoes are cooking and getting tender, I've already got my second batch almost ready to go. But I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to make cornbread too. We're going to keep a batch to eat. And then I'm giving a batch of potato soup and cornbread away. So I thought, let's make this cornbread. You know, I have a video on cornbread, Granny Ann's cornbread. You can look it up and I'll link it above. But it's 2 cups of cornmeal, a cup of milk or buttermilk, and 3 eggs. I've got my cornmeal in, and you know, I put a tablespoon of sugar and a tablespoon of self-rising flour in mine because that's how Granny Ann taught me. Alan's grandmother taught me to make it. Let me put my other half a cup of milk in for my whole cup of milk. And I'll be adding to this, I'm going to add 2 eggs while we're waiting on our potato soup. Aren't these some pretty eggs? Let me show you this. I just love some brown country eggs from the chickens. Aren't these pretty? You may not think so, but gosh, I do. I think they're so pretty. Thank you, Becky. You know, I love these eggs. Holly shared them with me, so thank you so much, Becky. I've got to get out there and see you soon, and you've got to come see me sometime. All right, 3 eggs. Most people only put 2 eggs in their cornbread. I put 3 in mine. You put what you want in your cornbread. Boy, these are some really pretty yolks in these eggs. Let me turn my oven on. When you make cornbread, get your oven on. I do mine on 350. You do it on whatever heat you want. I put my greased skillet in the oven. Get it hot about 7 minutes before I put this in. Now we're going to mix this up real well. And you know, a lot of people, well, don't like cornbread, but we enjoy it, so I make it. It's your basis for making cornbread cornbread dressing that's coming up pretty soon in November. So I just want to get this in the oven while our potatoes are cooking. We're getting fork tender. Just give this a good stir. It's okay if it's lumpy. I wanted to show you what I got up and made this morning. I made some everything bagel. I'll bring it up here where you can see it. Everything bagel sourdough bread. I wish I could give you a slice with some butter and honey on it. And then I made just, you know, plain sourdough. Some people just like the plain sourdough. They don't like it with any kind of special stuff on it. So I made 2 loaves plain. And then this morning I made, oh, it's still kind of warm. I made, you know, banana bread that I'll be taking to the Martin house here in a few minutes after I get these potatoes ready to deliver. And this is banana walnut bread. I put a little pumpkin spice mix in there, but don't tell anybody. Won't that make it good? All right. Now, when you put that hot iron skillet in there with that grease in there, don't you get distracted and get on your cell phone and burn the house down. You got to stay with it. When you're cooking, you got to stay with it. I think that's the most important thing. If I was teaching a new cook something, I think I would teach her to stay with it. Just stay with it, girl, is all I tell you. I just had to show you my pretty brown eggs. Thanks again, Becky. All right, let's see. I don't want mine to burn, catch on fire, or smoke up. So it's not ready yet. Let's see if our potatoes are fork tender yet. They're close, but not quite. So we'll give them a minute. If you put a lid on it like this, it cooks faster. If you're in a hurry and you've got to cook something fast, put your lid on. You know that contains your heat and makes it go fast. Let me put my eggs back in the fridge. I'm glad I've got a tiny little kitchen because, you know, it saves me a whole bunch of steps. All right, we're waiting on our iron skillet to get ready. Let's go ahead and get our second batch of potato soup ready. Putting the onions in. We can kind of get this cleaned up and get these ready to cook. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, I got 4 deliveries to make today, so I hope I get there with everything in one piece. It's a challenge sometimes. There goes my oven. Now let's put our 2 cups of chicken broth in this batch. I wish you could just smell these potatoes and these onions in this chicken broth cooking on a cool morning. Oh, there's just no smell like it. I'm telling you, you gotta make these. They're so easy to do. Once you get your potatoes on boiling until they're fork tender, you can go along and you can do so many other things. Now what I want to do is bring my skillet up here now. Alright. That thing is hot and it is heavy, and when it gets full of cornmeal, it's really heavy. Just pour it in. Now, I never did eat cornbread growing up. We never had it. My mother made biscuits and got them out of a can, and, you know, we did all that, but we never had cornbread. I don't know why. We never had it. I don't know. I should have asked her before she passed away, but they never had corn. We never had it. We just always had biscuits. All right, now I put it in a 350-degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your stove. So here we go. Now, there it was. Now we've got everything going. Our cornbread 2 batches of potato soup, our sourdough that I've got to deliver, and I've got to get this cake ready. Now that it's cooling off, I'm going to take it off the stove, and I'm going to let this cool off so that I can get it packaged up to go to the Martin house. What I usually do is just flip it out. I get these little disposable plates, and I just flip it out. Most people serve their cakes like this, but you guys know I don't do that, do you? You know what I do with my cakes, don't you? I just take them and I just flip them over. I think they're so pretty on this side. I love that. I love the way that the batter just falls around, and it just makes a pretty cake on that side, doesn't it? I just think it makes a nice cake. Does that banana bread smell good? Ooh-wee. All right, now we're going to have here at my house what we'll eat. We will have our batch of potato soup, and we will also have some cornbread. That cornbread in the oven is going to go out. It's in a 10-inch skillet, so that probably serves a good 6 to 8 people, that cornbread right there. So that will be going with my other batch of potato soup today. I'll bring you back when these get fork tender. Oh, hey guys. Our potatoes are almost fork tender, so now let's put our little spices in there. You know, we have chicken broth in there already. So what I'd like to add to this is I would like to add garlic. Not salt, but powder. Garlic powder. And I'm probably going to add at least half a tablespoon of the garlic. Now, I do have the chicken broth in there, and it is not salt free. So it may add a lot of salt taste to it, so I'm going to wait on my salt. I will be adding a half of a teaspoon, and you know, I don't even think this is open. Isn't it something that you have to stop and open everything before you can use it? But that's the way we want it, and that's the way it is. All right, half a teaspoon of celery seed, not celery salt. Celery seed. That just kind of gives it just a little fresh taste. I will garnish it with some onions and parsley when I set it up in the bowl. I want to show you this stuff, guys, that I bought at Great Value, and it's wonderful. I didn't know how it would be, but it's Great Value garlic and herb seasoning mix. And what drew my attention to it was that it was salt-free. And let me tell you what's in it. What it says is in here, well, let me see if I can see it. Dried garlic, dried onions, black pepper, fennel, bay leaves, coriander, cumin, cilantro, oregano, basil. I don't know how they got all this in here. Mustard powder, cayenne pepper, parsley, and orange peel, dried carrots, celery extract, rosemary, and tricalcium phosphate, anti-caking. I don't really like that. That's kind of a chemical, I think. Rice, mull. Anyway, all I can say is I love it. I hope they'll keep it on the shelf. Sometimes you find something you love and they take it off the shelf. Well, this is so good. And it has so many different in there. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of this. Just 1 teaspoon. Of the garlic and herb salt-free seasoning blend. It's really nice to have a blend of seasoning because that saves you from having to open and turn and get so many different things out. and all your storage for all those different things, all your different spices. So I love having something that's in one container. And I only bought one because I wanted to try it. But the next time I go up to Walmart where they have great value, I'm going to pick up quite a few of these. And I think they'll be great. So hope you like them if you try them. Now I'm going to stir this up just a little. Get these little spices blended in here. You know, potato soup can be a little blah, so I do believe you need to put some goodies in there to kind of give it a little pep. Now, you're going to be surprised when my potatoes get tender and I think we're there, how I actually make the soup. I know if you're as old as I am, when your mama made the soup, she put flour and made a roux and thickened it that way. But today, I'm going to do it a different way. And I started doing this when my first grandchild was absolutely crazy over potato soup. And every time she came, she wanted potato soup. So I started making it this way because it was faster. Now, I've talked a lot and anyway, it wouldn't have taken this long, but I've been yakking. So my potatoes are ready. It's on the stove over here. And what I'm going to do, and what I did do that I didn't tell you, was that I added 3 cups of water along with the 2 cups of broth. I added 3 cups of water. Now that it is not boiling, but it has boiled and I've turned it down, I'll be using some portion of this 4 cheese mashed potato, Idahoan russet potatoes with cheddar, blue Romano, and Parmesan cheese. Now, you know that's going to be good. I don't know how healthy this is, but we like this brand a lot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to thicken my soup with this. You know, my mama used flour, but I'm going to use this. And so I'm going to open this up and I'm going to bring you over here to the pot where you can kind of watch what I do after I get my potatoes open to kind of get this to the thickness that we like. Now, some people like a really thick soup. We do. We like a really thick, not a thin, watery, soupy soup. So don't let me make you dizzy. Come right over here. Let's look down at the pot. And I'm going to show you how I thicken this up. You're doing this yourself. It's not going to take you this long. I'm going to turn my heat up just a little. Not a whole lot. But you can see right in there how it's got a little bit of a boil to it. Let me bring you up just a little bit. You see how it's got just a little bit of a boil to it? And you see the potatoes. There's onions are tender. The potatoes are just going to fall apart. Which you don't mind that. You see our little spices floating around in there. And now what I'm going to do is just take these potatoes and just put them in there. Now, I've got my youngest daughter's oldest daughter. She thinks my potato soup is the best. So I told her, I said, Darcy, I'll show you, honey, how to make it. And she's going to be shocked when she realizes I use this, won't she? Now, you see, once those potatoes get it there, you're going to have to turn your heat down just a little bit. Now, just keep putting your potatoes in and stirring it until you get it where you want it. If you get it too thick, guys, you can add some cream or some milk or some water and thin it back out if you get it too thick. The first time I did this, I got mine so thick that I added a little milk to it because I had got it so thick. You can garnish this with sour cream with little green onions. You can fry some bacon and crumble it up on this. Get you some good bread, some dry bread or cornbread, whatever you like to go alongside it. It's a good filler on a cold, snowy day, a cold winter day. This potato packet is this is a 4-ounce pack that I picked up at Ruler. I think it was $1.29, and I've used the whole pack, the entire package, this pot of potato soup. Now, as it cooks, it'll get a little bit thicker. Now, one thing I did not add that I always add at the end is black pepper. I kind of like for that to kind of show on the top. And so right now I'm going to add some black pepper. A lot of people put a whole stick of butter or a whole cup of cream in their soup. This is for me and Alan, and we're trying to watch, you know, those really good calories like that. Now I'm gonna put the lid on this, and this one's done. And you can see, let me get a spoon and I'll show you what a spoonful of it looks like. When you go down to get you a bite, you're gonna come up, and this might be too thin for you. You may want it thicker, but what you're gonna have is you're gonna have a good bite of, you know, a good spoonful of soup. Let me get you down here where you can watch it. You're just gonna have potatoes down in there. And you're gonna have onions. And it's just gonna be good. Now, if you think it's too thin, add you some more, another pack of potatoes. If you think, oh, that's a little thin, you can add a little more potato flakes. All right. Now let's check on our cornbread. Y'all want to see what it's doing? Let's see if we can find that cornbread. Isn't it pretty? Doesn't it look good? Yeah, that cornbread looks really good. But it's not done, guys. It's got to get a lot browner on top. Okay, we're going to shut that oven back up. Push this little pot in there. Go on in there. All right, now you see this is going to thicken up, so I'm going to turn my eye down, and I'm going to put my lid back on until we get ready for dinner. And I've got some errands I've got to run, so let me pull you back up here. Here's my banana bread, sourdough, and look at our cornbread. I just took it out. I didn't want you to miss me taking this out of our oven. And gosh, I wish you could smell of that good cornbread. Oh my gosh, it looks so delicious.
Right there. What are you doing?
I'm making a video. Say hey.
Hi.
Say hey, Alan.
Hey.
Well, I've got company now. I've got to go feed my little community dogs. So, yeah, let me get the goodies out, Alan, and we'll take them out to the dogs.
Okay.
Oh, Ozzy. She always scares me like I'm afraid I'm going to get... Oh, she's gone, and I got another one for her. I'll wait till you get back. Well, I'm going to try to break this one in half for you guys, because maybe I can do it. There you go. When Ozzy comes back up here, we've got some more food. Did you get a picture of
Piper
Piper
and Carrie.
and Carrie and Ozzy? I'm going to let you... Well, I guess I'll dole it out.
There
Come
he
on,
comes.
baby. Well, now, wait a
You're
minute.
going to cause a fight now.
No, I'm just going to drop it because I'm scared of those teeth. Those big teeth. Here you go. Come on. Woo! Ozzy ate that in one bite. There you go. He touched my hand, didn't even try to bite it. You're going to have to eat all that up because I'm not going to sweep it off this porch. Let's see, I've got another bone right here. And some pork chops. Whoops, there it went. Here it is, right here. Right here, baby. Right here. Right here. These little sticks kind of in our way. Well, he loves this. Woo! Like you got me. Little stink pot. You little stink pot. You're a potter. You're a stink potter. And you've got a lot of crumbs all over the porch. You got to clean that up. Well, that went fast. Guys, here's the final potato soup. Put a little cheese, a little onions, a little parsley, right on top of the soup. So, let's take it out and see what Alan thinks about it. Okay, Alan, how is your potato soup? You mixed up all your cheese in there?
Yeah, I mixed the cheese up.
You got your cornbread?
Yeah, let me have another bite.
He just came out from working in the wood shop.
In the words of a famous person that we know from the Dominican Republic, this is excelente.
Okay. So you think it's really good?
I think it'll pass muster today. Really good.
Okay. Enjoy your lunch.
I'm going to.
It looks good. Guys, y'all have got to make this potato soup. I know your family will enjoy it. We enjoy it so much. And when I tell Alan, I say, well, we're going to have some potato soup tonight. He's like, oh, good, I can't wait. He'll say, we're going to get to have cornbread with it. And I'll say, well, of course, honey, we're going to have some cornbread with it. So make you some potato soup. And I hope you've enjoyed the video of the cornbread and the potato soup. Wonderful dish to make. And don't forget your garnishes you can put on top to make it look so fancy. Plus it adds additional flavor and taste to your soup. And I want you guys to know that I am taking a pot of this soup and a thing of cornbread to my youngest daughter and her 3 children. Because, like I said, her oldest daughter, she loves my potato soup so much. And so I wanted to make that for her today. They're coming back from vacation, coming in this afternoon late. So I thought, well, when they got home, they'd have something to eat if they were hungry. And you're always hungry and tired after you've traveled, especially from the ocean to Tennessee. It's quite a distance. All right, I'm going to hush talking, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I sure would be happy if you would do that. And if you would give me a thumbs up and a like, I would be happy too. But I'm very happy that you've joined me. Just joining me on my channel, that's enough. You are just so precious, and I just love every one of y'all so much. Bye-bye.